panel, as we shall be discussing a lot of actions, just like said through India, and then of course at the same time, the golf also still continues with of course Kasozi, who took a lead, and Chiselese are still also being one of the big names to talk about India. Full of actions of how teams won their games. We also did see the NGO league that went on with the different series that also came through. And of course, the newly crowned champion said also something. I'm talking about the motorsports. We did also see all those. So all those disciplines we shall be giving you. But before that, we will be crossing over to that is the local scene faster before we get to other sports disciplines right there. Now, of course, if you look at how things are going on, of course, the Kampala club, Swan is the team that has defended, of course, the Uganda Cup in hockey right there. Susie, a very big team to talk about, a team that has always, of course, raised a lot of expectations from different teams, but still in Kampala. Now, very many people don't follow different leagues, don't follow different actions, but the hockey has been one of the biggest thing that has been ongoing. Though it's not a popular game this in Africa, but still it is being exercised by different things. So as I talk, the Sahara herself, Renaitwe, was the lady who, of course, made sure that she scored the lone goal for that is the team of Uganda, and she is the captain. So Uganda defends this time round the Uganda Cup yet again in hockey.
Quite a very good one. Good afternoon, viewer. Where could be catching us from. Would like to say thank you so much for always keeping it at West Nile TV. This is the Whistle Time, where of course we do everything within sports from 2 to 3 daily, Monday to there is a Saturday, and in here is the pundits that we have in the house that definitely shall be giving you everything within sports. All you have to do is keep it glued to West Nile TV, because we are here to light up the region for you. And talking about hockey, just like my colleague had introduced, it's quite a very interesting one, and I think this time around, I'm quite glad that the couple of different sports disciplines that are taking shape, especially in Uganda, when now we get to see hockey being talked about. Initially, it used to only be football, and then somehow we did see athletics crossing in, and the netball and all that. But basically, if now we are going through to discuss other sports disciplines, it's quite very interesting. The likes of the hockeys, golf, and the rest. So this time around, Team Uganda representing in hockey, and of course, I see they are doing quite very well.
Yeah, of course, a lot of in-depth, of course, follow-up from there. I could say that this is one big thing that very many have always loved watching. Talking about the hockey, it's a game that is a little bit so challenging. If you look at how it is played, how it needs, of course, taking moment in the training levels, trying to bring in the tactical bit of the hockey, trying to bring in the subline of the that is hockey, and then of course the criteria used, its equipment, its gadgets that are required. I think it's a very big one, and of course its officiation is also one thing that is always so disturbing from different people, and that's why it's very hard for very many people to follow it up with issues of how hockey is being played, how of course the terms are geared up. It takes one's commitment to always follow these games, and at the same time probably learn the terms that are used in there. Of course, a couple of things resemble with one of the things, maybe some of the things in football world, but at the same time you look into how, of course, people focus. Most of the times focus turns only to the football world, and yet there are very many of the games that are more than the football. And that's why I think the statement Susie made about the development of some of these sports discipline is very key, and I would not really want to see it only be in Kampala because that's the central part of it. But what about that is the grassroots here in some of the towns, some of the villages, some of the districts that probably could be pushing things work out right there. Those are some of the expected moments in there. So I would appeal to that is the the federation, and of course National Council of Sports probably, to see that they really need to put this to different, of course, districts, different regions, to see that people really get to know and learn the knowledge. If I should say, because right now, if you look at activities in Uganda, I should say it's FUFA that is so much dominating with the football bit of it. How about the Uganda Athletics? That is also right there. And then, of course, you have the Uganda Netball Federation that has always had issues here and there, but they're still pushing in also greatly to see that things go right. So it's a very big thing that is there. But in yesterday's encounter, we did see the Swan defender by the names of course, Winnie Nandi, who was the big name in there, or the most valuable player. You could talk about the MVP of the tournament after she had, of course, gotten to see things went well. And this naming came after, of course, she has always participated, and the National Hockey League MVP means big for her. So it's really a big one. But this does not mean that it's done, dusted. Still more things that will also be coming through. But it has also, of course, helped rise up the emphasis, the eyes, and of course the rest of the people high to see that they support the world of hockey. So we'll be waiting to see how and when that will be coming to Arua. I've seen a few members, or the few Indians who also practice hockey, by the way. There's also badminton is being practiced, but this time around, what does it show? What does it need for us to push all these activities? I think the availability of this coming here would be one big one. Now, there's also another game ongoing. It's called the table tennis. I think in Arua, I've not seen it so much. Table tennis has been one of the sports disciplines that people also enjoy and look into how they really want to push. But in these different areas, we have not seen it so much. So we shall be waiting to see how that comes in through from that side to, of course, Arua and some parts of the region, maybe West Nile, let's say, or northern Uganda. Now, in one of the biggest things, the Serena Golf Resort and the Spa on Monday, as I was also on my trip, I did see the golf course being really very okay, very good. But if you look at what is happening, Susie, I looked at golf course. I've moved to around 4 golf courses I've seen, but the Serena one is nice. Masindi has a golf course. I looked at it. There are certain things that are lacking, and Arua has a very big golf course. Before I get to even the games that were played in the Serena Open, biggest things have always been big. I can tell you that Arua's golf course is one of the beautiful golf courses around, but I also have invested in more. Now, looking at the population and the consistency of playing in this golf course, I think there's a challenge that has always been here and there. Let's talk about the Arua itself. There's that ongoing golf nationally, but it's organized by Serena. Arua does not always send people, and they are not represented. Let's say even West Nile, I don't see very many names. What could be the biggest problem with us in West Nile?
I think it could, I really don't know, I was about to say it could be financial related, but then we've seen a couple of golfers from there is a Arua representative. Recently, there was a golf open at Masindi, and we did see our very own, the likes of the Omias, the likes of the Ambrose, who went in and of course represented, that is West Nile. They literally did come home with a couple of awards in there. But then when it comes to tournaments that are past, let me say, tournaments that are in Kampala, just like you have said, Mr. Owen, we literally always don't see our own players or our own representatives going through to represent, and yet to me I think this is quite a very bad one, because whenever Arua does take or does participate in their golf open, you see a couple of people representing even from Kampala itself. But then how is it that now it is the turn of the people the other side, and we don't see people from here representing there? There could be something somewhere that we've not landed on.
Of course, a very big one because recently, of course, on Monday there was an action at Serena, of course, golf course, and a lot of things that went through. The reigning champion of that is the Uganda Open Amateur Champion, of course, the man by the name of Joseph Regan Akena was one name that went in there, who scored a level of par 72, and then Joseph Chinyai, of course, we saw him here, was 2 over with, of course, 7-4 gross. And then we saw Ronald Ngumayo returned with 3 over, which he was around 75. And then Titus Ogwang went also with 4 over, which is 7-6. And then Ogwang grabbed also the headline with, of course, an eye-catching hole that went through, and he did really a long one, and in one shot, that is the par of the 7 holes right there. So it's so big and so interesting, but things still keep traversing the way people are moving on. Now, West Nile, I'm told there's going to be a coaching course that is coming through, and probably a lot of things that I would request maybe some coaches should invest in and make sure that this goes in there. I think Federation of Uganda Football Association and the stakeholders, all the football stakeholders in West Nile, all the football leaders in West Nile are trying to gang up to see that we have more coaches in there. Would that be a very good idea for us as West Nile, basing on the type of coaches we have in West Nile?
It could be quite a very good one, but then the disadvantage here is when we've seen a lot of football administrators trusting in coaches from outside. This is not only in West Nile. Yes, this is quite a very good move to bring the services nearer to our people that are interested in sports within the city in here. But then, even in Kampala, we've seen a couple of UPL clubs going in for coaches that are international coaches, I should say, coaches that are from outside Uganda, past the boundaries of Uganda. So, to me, I think this little would affect, unless otherwise our concept is changed that even people locally here can do better than those that are out. We've seen a lot of clubs hiring the services of international coaches, but what have they achieved? We've not seen a lot of achievements coming through. It literally has ended in these international coaches leaving. I know that we did see KCA having one, we did see Vipers having one, we also did see Villa having one, but are they still there? Have they lived to the time to test this? I mean, they're all not there. So basically that is one of the biggest problems that we have been facing in Uganda, trusting in international or foreign coaches. But bringing in this service here, it would, for me, be quite a very good one, because if you look at the teams in West Nile, I would say they are working with the natives. Look at Onduparaka Football Club, but they have at least a lot of, in the coaching department, they have the natives of Arua. And then look at the Black Angels, they literally also are working with the natives within here, Calvary as well. So for me, I think when this is brought in here, it would be taken in very positively, and it's quite a very good one, unless otherwise we shouldn't allow the virus of the other people cutting across of trusting in the foreign coaches. It would really be a very good initiative.
We yet to say how exactly those things, but I think it's just not by mistake, because we need to have people still have their, what do I say, they need to get to learn whatever is there, because coaching has a lot of things. I can be a coach, but there are those inner parts of the coaching tactics that you need to get, the skills, and a lot of things that probably come in that you need to get, because it's very important for one to be, of course, in action, for one to be for one to see what exactly you need to know about the football bit of it, and then how exactly teams need to attract good coaches. We have seen other people just have passion for coaching. They have never gone to, you've seen coaches who have never gone to, who have never played football, but they love coaching. That's also there. So I think it's a very big one, and I expect a very big initiative coming through. But we're looking into how these coaches can also perform after them being trained, because there is a way as a coach you're supposed to behave. There's a way you're supposed to make sure that you work out on certain things as a coach. So in case that does not happen, what exactly what do you do? You need to get to the coaching course, of course, from the beginners up to where you're supposed to be, and a lot of things that will be coming right there. So I'm expecting a very, very interesting, of course, encounter from different coaches who will be, of course, who will see this or get the information and perform to the expectation. What people fear is paying that money that you're supposed to pay. You affiliate, you pay some facilitation fee, because the instructors that come to give you this coaching, of course, knowledge need to be facilitated, need to move, and they come and they are to be accommodated. They are to be, of course, given meals. They are to be, there are a lot of things that come in there. So this money is you pay as an individual is to facilitate this person, because maybe this person is coming to sleep in a 3-star hotel for 4 or 5 days for 1 week, and you know how much that money could be to see that this works out. So because you need the knowledge, I think it would be very good for you to pay, and you make sure that this happens. So it's one of the interesting parts right there. Now, still, when we get to West Nile, still a lot of things, not only West Nile, but of course other country, other parts of that is the country. You have the Uganda Cup that is also ongoing. Very many people have paid attention to it, but there are very many games that are also to be played in the preliminaries, round 3, where of course Parombo United against Paida United. And then you have Ottoman that will be taken on Midland. And then you have, of course, Kuluva tomorrow on 11th, because today in West Nile there are only those 2 games. Then tomorrow you have Kuluva Rainbow against Hot Springs of Nebi. And then you also have Pakwach Youngsters against Nebi Central. Then you have Dramachako that will be playing Aivu Lions, as Total will be welcoming Moyo. And then Coach Urban will be taking on Ajuman Town Council. If you look at all this, you would see that these are games that are coming through, of course, before other games get to, in fact, before, after clubs have played just recently. There are League Cups. I'm talking about the West Nile Regional League. You saw teams like Total who lost their games, and more other. Dramachako is a flying one this time round. So Arua City playing a draw with Nebi Central. All those other actions came through, but we're looking at Uganda Cup. What are we seeing from the games, and which one could be your biggest game of the Uganda Cup?
A couple of fixtures that have come through from there is Stanbic Uganda Cup preliminaries in there. Just like you had said, whoever comes through, by the way, to win their Uganda Cup could be a hard worker, because these are clubs that over the weekend were very busy. We did see them taking part in the regional league tournaments in there, where a couple of a lot of shocking results did come through, just like you did give us a hint in there. And then also tomorrow we shall be seeing some other clubs taking part, just like Nebi Central that will be traveling to St. Mary's Baromach in Pakwach to take in, there is Pakwach Youngsters, and then Kuluva Rainbow taking on Hot Springs and all that. So basically for me, these are very tough fixtures for all these clubs, especially those that have been taking part in the regional league just over the weekend. Today is just yet a Tuesday, especially those that played on Sunday. So we're going to be seeing a lot of fatigue, but then resting for a day or two, because most of the games will be coming through tomorrow, apart from today, where we shall be seeing, I think, only 2 games in there. So basically, I think for the teams that will be coming through as winners today and tomorrow, there is the Uganda Cup. To me, I think that will be a plus for them. One of the biggest fixtures to me is the Nebi Central versus Pakwach Youngsters, because well, I should say these are one of the biggest rivals, we should say, in the Greater Luru sub-region. They've met several times. There is the regional league, they did meet last last year in both Uganda Cup and Regional League. And then this time around, we're also seeing them meeting in Regional League. Recently, they did meet in Regional League, and they played in a draw at the same spot at St. Mary's Barrow match in Pakwach. And this time around, tomorrow, we shall be seeing the same two sides meeting in, trying to prove to the other that, you know what, I am better than you. And this definitely will go down at the end of 90 minutes in Pakwach. That is definitely when we shall be deciding who goes to the next preliminary stages of Uganda Cup. Just like we did see for last season, there is we did see Pakwach youngsters going in a little bit far until they were ejected somehow, but then they literally tried in their best. And this time around, it is the game for me to watch tomorrow. Pakwach youngsters hosting in Nebi Central at St. Mary's Barrow match. Pakwach.
Game, of course, of probably people could be expecting a lot of numbers in this game, because I would be expecting a lot of people come through. But all in all, a game that maybe any team will have to lose or find a way, because we need to see who is that person or who is that club that is going to be in the fourth round preliminaries. A very big thing in there. At the same time, I think Nebi and Pakwach youngsters, yes, this is going to be like their second time of meeting in the League Cup. And then, of course, again, in this very game of Uganda Cup, it's a very big one. But all in all, I don't see a lot in this game, because the two coaches are too tactical in their way in the previous game. So one has to prove whatever is there. Pakwach has an upper hand, I should say, because they are home. But, of course, Nebi Central, you know how stubborn they can be in their style of play, in their way. Though they played a draw with Arua City at their own home. But still now they will have to look at the weak holes and the weapons that they need to do to make sure that this works out. Because here you need at least a win to see that the team moves on. And how it will end is, of course, a very big one. So people of Pakwach, people of Nebi, I think tomorrow the roads lead to, that is a Pakwach at Barrow match, and a very big, interesting encounter that will be there. For those who are in Nebi, I know how you always go in large numbers, and at the same time, for those who also in Nebi, in Pakwach, I know how you love to support always the home team. There are even those fans who are in Nebi, but they are fans of Pakwach, so you could always go and meet and see how things go on and work out probably. Right there. So those are some of big things, but again, there's still Odamachako, Aivu, Lions. I think Odamachako this time round is saying no, because if you look at Nebi and Pakwach, Pakwach is 5 points shy, that is Nebi Central. And then here you're looking at Odamachako, that is on top, trying to prove everything and trying to put things right, unless it's going to be a change of anything. But if you look at the challenge that is coming through, then you would say that Odamachako has an upper hand ahead of this Lions, but we don't know what happens in football. Anything can happen, and you could be surprised in there. Then there's, of course, Kochi Aban that has not been doing well, but I think their last game they won it in the League Cup, and they will be playing Council FC at Boma Grounds, and this is also another game that will be coming. Total will have to welcome Moyo. Moyo from the Madiland will have to travel up to, of course, the team of. In fact, I should say from Moyo to Yumbe is just a shorter distance they can do, and come and have that moment. So all these things, you would see that we have what it takes to see that things move rightly. But I'm seeing Uganda this time round having a lot of competition, because we have seen teams that without names even eliminating some of the teams that are with names or that are in the top tier leagues. But other people say it is because of, it's because some of the giant teams don't want the Uganda Cup, and they just want to quit in there so that they can concentrate on the League Cup. And you can't know, but all in all, that is what is happening in the Uganda Cup. Now we're taking a break. When we come back, we shall be coming to